Hello, welcome to Our Town. I'm Bill Neill and I'm going to be your host each week on a program about the events and the people that make history here in our town. We'll talk a little bit about our education and about our city government and the many services that we have, and we'll invite guests here to this historic old home, appropriately selected as our location for this production each week. We'll ask about the news of what's going on in Laverne. Since we don't have a daily newspaper of our own, when it's local, it'll be on LVTV Channel 29 and look to Our Town to cover many of the events of our community. Again, this is an appropriate location because this is one of the historic old homes of Laverne, at one point called Lordsburg. Our little town has a history over 100 years now, and some of the events that made history over this 100-year period we'll be covering on our program. Come over here, I want to show you something. This is a carriage step. It was built at the same time that the house was constructed and intended as a way for people to get down out of a high carriage step. And later on in the teens, and with the running boards of the Model T Ford and other cars of that era. Today it's the step into our gazebo where we do many of our interviews. Today we're going to be interviewing Melissa Manfro, who is program manager for LVTV and the producer of FYI. She's going to be sharing with us her duties as program manager and as producer of the program FYI. Before we do that, I want to share with you a little bit about the history of Laverne back at a time when Laverne was called Lordsburg. The reason the city was built, or one of the reasons anyway, was when a new means of transportation came to the Southern California area. It was the Santa Fe Railroad. The Santa Fe Railroad reached the California coast in 1887. Azusa, Glendora, Covina, Lordsburg, and Claremont were all born out of the land boom of the 1880s. By 1891, the great California land boom had gone bust. And as so often happens, out of failure comes opportunity, blessings in disguise for those with foresight and a need. Well, a long time since that old train ran through Laverne, then Lordsburg, and now Metrolink is going to start a new service into Los Angeles and a whole new way of commuting to Los Angeles. And we'll be covering that here on our show. Right now I'd like to begin our interview with Melissa Manfro, the program manager of LVTV. Well, hello, Melissa.
Hi, Bill.
And welcome to Our Town.
Thank you very much.
I asked you to come on our very first show because you represent a member of the community, someone who's active with your children. That's Tim and Ryan, and your husband Anthony has a business here in this area.
Landscape contracting business.
And I met you several years ago. It seems like I saw you other places from time to time, a special event with the schools and so forth. And now you've come on and volunteered to be the director of programming for LVTV. And we could not be more pleased to have you in that position. What made you think that that was something you'd like to do?
Well, I've always been interested in the media and television, and I just love this community, and from having children in the Laverne schools, I realized what a great job the teachers are doing in the schools and the creative things students are doing. And from living in this community and going to the 4th of July celebrations and the things that happen at Christmas time. I just love Laverne and knew it was an interesting community, and hopefully with LVTV we can reflect this unique community of Laverne.
Yeah. When did you first notice LVTV and what gave you the idea? Do you remember?
Let's see. My son was in Sonia Mazuk's room, who was a board member early on.
LVTV board member.
Yes, and she would talk about her association with LVTV to the students, and he would come home and encourage us to watch. So that's when we turned it on, and that's when I also looked at it and thought, we've got such a terrific city, there needs to be more on. So that's when I got involved.
And what are the things that you feel need to be done on LVTV?
Well, we've already started. Some of the things that I thought should be done is more involvement from our schools, from our Bonita High School and Ramona Middle School and the elementary schools that we have in Laverne. Also, just a little bit more issues, things that are happening in Laverne that are of a concern to the residents that they may not know about otherwise unless LVTV would cover it, because Channel 7 and Channel 2 aren't going to cover Laverne issues. You know, they're just mainly dealing with Los Angeles. And also information of things coming up, you know, that the citizens might not know about. So they could get a little advance warnings of golf tournaments and things happening at the community center and special programs at schools. Advanced warning, and be able to, you know, mark it in their calendars and attend.
Well, you saw some of the beginning productions with LVTV, and you had an idea, and you have transformed that idea into a television production that you're producing. In addition to serving as president of the LVTV board, you're producing a program. And what I think special about that is the fact that you are from the community, a person who has no television experience, is that right?
That's true.
And you just took a hold of it and rolled up your sleeves and decided to produce this program. Tell us about the program and a little bit about the features of the show.
Well, the program is called FYI Laverne, for your information. That's what FYI means. It includes a Ramona Middle School report done by the Ramona Middle School students, the leadership class of Patty Hill, and Bonita Bearcat update report done by the Bonita High ROP video production class. And Larry Thompson and Skip Clegg are the teachers. Then we have a city council report and done by a university student, and a For Your Information segment, which is, we've done Shop Laverne or services that your library provide, just a little information about our city. And then also Carla Sullivan gives us Laverne Weekly, which is the things that are happening at the community center for that week. And the reason I liked that format is because you get a wide variety of what's happening in the community. Senior citizens may tune in to hear a city council report, but then they're also going to see the 7th grade report. And we need to know about what's happening in our schools, even if we don't have children attending. And I feel high school and middle school students need to know what's happening in city council. Yeah. So to me, 7th grade should be as important as city council.
Uh-huh. Well, let's look at a clip. This would be a good time, I think. Let's look at a clip from FYI.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Melissa Crook, and this is the first edition of Ramona News. We have a new vice principal. Her name is Mrs. Verne. She's done a great job so far. She used to work at a school in Walnut Valley. She admits it's been real hard, but Mr. Temkin and Mrs. Klein have helped her through. Mrs. Klein says she has a lot of energy, and we as students believe she does too. For those of you who don't know, we have new ASB officers. They are Jason Bland, President, Callie Perry, Vice President, Rachel Pence, Treasurer, Jennifer Castillo, Secretary, and Gina Cirillo, Historian.
Hi, I'm Erin Kelly, and I'm here to welcome you back to Bearcat Update. School is back in for the session of 1992-93 school year, and although we've only been back for 3 weeks, Bearcat Update team is already in the studio and cameras are rolling. So here with the first story of the year is Zach McFarland.
Although it's early in the year, the clubs at Bonita are already very active. Already scheduled for this year is a fashion show sponsored by Bonita's ASB and Bonita's new Gourmet Club. The fashion show will begin with the Continental Breakfast at 8 a.m. in Nordstrom's the morning of October 31st, 1992. The fabulous models featured will be as follows: Gina Everett, Mean Ta, Trisha Portis, Mark Gutierrez, and Varsity Football's own Andy Alaniz. The whole event will last till 10 a.m. So come on and support our new and local clubs.
Well, what a wonderful opportunity for junior high and high school students to, in writing and performance and so forth, all of the skills of communication. What a great experience.
Oh, I've really enjoyed it. The students are terrific. The teachers are helpful. I enjoy working with Carla. It's just been a great experience.
FYI, 7 p.m. on
weeknights.
On weeknights, check your LVTV program guide that you're also putting out. And we'll be talking as we go along about other programming decisions for the station. And if someone wants to have our program guide, they can contact us through the station.
Yeah, leave your address, name and address, and zip code on the answer phone. I'd love to send you a program guide.
Okay. Melissa Manfro, Director of Programming for our station, President of the LVTV Board, President of your PTA, is that right?
Last
Laverne
year.
High? Last year. What do you do in your spare time? Who knows? She mother and wife and member of our community. Thanks so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Okay, I've got 3 more smoke detectors. Herman Lullin, smoke detector donated by the Verne Firefighter Association.
Leo Kilman, firefighter for the City of Laverne Fire Department and the organizer and main person in charge of the open house on October 10th down at Fire Station 1. What a great day.
Sure was.
And a great turnout. We have some footage of that day, and would you watch it with me, and then as we go along, talk about what went on that day?
Yes, Bill. Sounds good.
All right, let's look then.
Lois Jurgens.
Hey. Hi, how you doing? We're just passing out some information on some fire home safety. We have some fire home checklists so you can check any problems you might have in your home. Have some of the Edith drill stuff, home exit drills. We're giving demonstrations on the other side of the station. We have some facts about fires, and we also have some earthquake information, earthquake preparedness information you might want. We have some stuff that also goes along with the gas company, some information you might need to know about gas company, turning off your gas.
And also how hot to adjust the water.
How to adjust. We have some information on strapping your water heaters. You might want to know how to secure those. And if you're a small business, we also have information on small business information. So if you're interested in that. We also have stuff on campfires to go along with our wildland stuff, how to be safe around campfires, and some of our equipment we use on brush fires over here. They'll be passing out balloons also, yeah. This is just our different equipment. We have brush equipment over here that we use on wildland fires, and on the other side we have our structure equipment that we use on home fires, our vehicle fires, with all our breathing apparatus. Just the different tools that we use. Okay. Thank you. Enjoy yourself. The man right over there will show you the restroom. The guy at the door right there drinking his Pepsi.
Tell you my name. My name is Mike. Can everybody say Mike? Say Mike. Right, I want you guys to remember my name because if you have questions, I want you to be able to ask me by my name, okay? What's my name?
Mike.
Mike, good. I have a question for you. How many of you sleep in a bedroom at home? Raise your hand if you sleep in a bedroom. Well, good. So do I. In fact, I want you guys to come into my bedroom, okay, with me? And when we come into my bedroom, I want you to sit on my bed, all right? Will you do that for me? Okay, come on over here to my bedroom. Okay, coming this way. Everybody's got to go through my door. Come on in through my door and sit on my bed. Shane. Hi. Come on over here. Jake? Oh, I thought I heard Shane. Come on in. Come on in and get on my bed. Everybody sit on my bed. Okay, come on in. You're right, just in time. Everybody sit on my bed. What's my name, guys?
Mike.
Mike, okay. Now I have a question for you guys. No, I want that open. Yeah, leave it open. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Everybody listen? Everybody listening? How many of you have a nightlight in your bedroom? Show me your hands. If you have a nightlight in your bedroom. Okay. Why do you have a nightlight in your bedroom?
Because I had it since I was young.
Yeah, and it gives you some light at night if you have to get up and get a drink, right? Well, everybody should have a nightlight in their bedroom. That's good. I have another question for you. I have another question. How many of you leave your doors open when you sleep at night? Guys in the back, how many of you leave your doors open when you sleep at night? Is your door open?
Sometimes.
Closed? How about yours? Is your door open or closed? Open? Okay.
Open.
We're going to talk about your door, and we want to find out why we should have it open or closed. And I'll ask you a few questions, okay? Now, I got a few questions here. Is fire good or is fire bad?
Bad.
It's bad. Why is it bad? Where would you see fire in your house? Let's ask you that.
In your fireplace.
Fireplace. Is a fire in your fireplace? Is that good or is that bad?
Good.
Good, right, because you can see a nice, pretty fire. It's warm and it gives you light. And the stove is another place. Is it good or bad to have fire on your stove?
Good. Good.
It's good because you have to cook your food, right?
Yeah.
But here's your question. If your fire is in your fireplace or on your stove and it gets away from that and comes out of your fireplace or goes away from your stove, is that fire, is that good or is that bad?
Bad.
That's bad because we could get hurt and we don't want to get hurt. Now here's the reason. When a fire is burning, what happens? What goes up in the sky?
Smoke.
Smoke goes up. Now if you have a fire way over in your bedroom or way over in the other side of your house and you're in your bedroom and that smoke goes all the way up to the ceiling and then it comes across the ceiling and your door is wide open, where's the smoke going to go? It's going to come inside of your door and into your bedroom. And is that good or is that bad?
Bad.
That's bad. So that's the reason when you go to bed, we want to shut our door. Now, if there's a fire on the other side of the bed or on the other side of the house, the smoke will not come into your bedroom, into the area that you're in, okay? Now, here's another thing. See the little crack on the top of the door here? That little crack is going to let some of the smoke in, and we're going to talk about that and what to do. Now, does everybody know what this is?
Smoke detector.
A smoke detector. Does everybody know what it sounds like?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't, we're going to test one right here in just a second. Now, there's one problem with me testing it, and that is I'm too short. It's way up on the ceiling, and I can't reach it. So I need to get a broom out of Mommy's broom closet, or I need to get a golf club or a long stick, and I need to come up and I need to touch it. But I need to touch that little white button, so I have a long stick that I use. And I come up to that little white button, and I push on it, and that's the sound that it makes. Does that sound good, or does that sound bad? Good. That's a good sound because that sound wakes you up if you're sleeping and tells you there might be smoke in your bedroom or anywhere that smoke detector's at. Now, the smoke detector inside of it has a battery that makes it, that allows it to make that sound. See that little square battery right there? That's the battery that we're going to talk to Mom and Dad about replacing. But I want you guys to go home today and teach them how to test it by pressing that white button. Now, what happens if I come up and I push it and it doesn't make a sound? What might have happened?
The batteries are dead.
Right, the battery that I just showed you might have gone dead, and we need to replace that battery. Where are we going to get a battery from?
Stores.
The store is a good place to get the battery, but what if Mom and Dad can't leave right away to go get a battery? Where else can you find a battery in your house? In your toy, I know that girl in the back. From your toys, right. If you have a toy in your bed or in your toy box that uses a square battery like that, maybe you could give that to your mommy and daddy to use until they go to the store. Then when they get their new batteries and put it in, you can get your battery back.
We have a battery charger and
Yeah, or put it in your battery charger, right. Okay, now here's the deal. Once you hear this sound, once you hear that sound, I'm going to teach you what to do next, okay? This isn't my bedroom, this is their bedroom, and it'll be your bedroom in just a minute. They're sound asleep, and it's the middle of the night, and suddenly they hear this sound. Quick, you guys get down on the floor. Why do they want to get on the floor? Well, remember, I told you that there's cracks in the door, and in this crack, some smoke might come into your bedroom, and the smoke stays up here in the ceiling. So if we're standing up, we're up in the smoke. If we get down low, we can breathe and we can see a lot better. So you want to stay down low. Now, they know mom and dad are in their bedroom down the hall. So the most obvious place to go would be to the door. So crawl to your door. Stay down low, crawl to the door, touch the door to see if it's hot or if it's cold. Ow! It's hot! Why is it hot? Because what if the fire is on the other side of this door? That would make the door hot. So when we touch that door, touch it again. Ow! There's a fire on the other side. Now what happens if they open the door? Where's the fire going to go? It's going to come inside with you, right? So we want to leave the door shut. That's why we touch the door first. Touch the door again. Ow, it's hot. How are they going to get out now? The door, they can't go out the door. What's next? The window. Crawl to the window, guys. Stay down low. Now they get to the window. What do they have to do to crawl out of it? They have to open it first. Open the window up. What's on the other side of the window to keep the bugs out? Screens. You got to knock the screen out of the window. Now that the screen's out, crawl out of the window. And I want you to run. Excuse me, moms. That slide by. I want you guys to run to my tree and stay there. Right? We need to stay low. Get down here on my carpet like I am. And I want you to crawl over here to my door for me, okay? Come on, over here to my door. Not open, that's all. You got to go through the grill and teach them how they can get out that window. If you have bars, the last group I went through said they had bars on their window. Make sure that they know how to open that. By law, they have to be able to hit a foot pedal on the floor outside their window to unlatch the locking device on that window.
Well, Leo, kids had the opportunity of a lifetime, and that was to actually operate some of the fire hoses. These look a little smaller than the regular ones.
Yes, that's correct. We put the 1-inch grass lines on there so we wouldn't have any problems with the kids having control of the hose lines.
So these are for ground fires?
Grass fires.
Uh-huh. And they fan out like that? Well,
yeah, that's our nozzle that does that. We can control 3 different types of streams through that nozzle, that type of nozzle there. But that's usually a big attraction for the open house. The kids love squirting water off the fire.
You bet. And a temptation perhaps to squirt somebody coming by.
Yeah, I believe a few people got wet that day. The guys helping out with the children there got pretty wet.
Always fun to get on a fire engine. And these youngsters are plugged into the communication system of your truck.
Yes, that's an intercom system that we have amongst the guys there. If we're responding to a medical emergency or a fire, the captain will be able to give me orders or talk to each other and tell the engineer where to park it.
And Mercier was there, flew in and blew dust all over the place, and they were there as air ambulance.
That's true, Bill. That's what we know in the fire service as an air ambulance. They transport trauma people, you know.
This child, as I understand it, has actually had the services of the air ambulance to be transferred from one hospital to another. I don't know if he was in critical condition or not, but watch how he takes to this flight nurse. Wow! And he's loving being in the helicopter itself. Made a friend. There was another helicopter in that day, or?
Sure, it was Life Flight, and that's also known as an air ambulance, and it's used for the same reasons.
And your Explorer Scouts were there that day in
Yeah.
force. Were they just helping in general with activities?
They had a fundraiser. We're trying to buy them equipment, and they had a hot dog stand.
So that they could have equipment for their
helmets, turnouts, and things like that.
Yeah.
That's how they're funded off of by fundraisers.
And great family turnout, and all fans of the fire department. Here's a big truck. Is it fully extended there?
Yeah, that's our 95-foot aerial. We're doing some rappelling drills here for like over the side or getting off, rescuing somebody from a building or coming off the building.
And here he comes. I understand that this big truck was purchased for the cold center, really, so that the ladder could extend out over the buildings there as well as be used in the city.
True.
And Smokey the Bear was there. And what's the Dalmatian's name?
That's Sparky the dog. He is a new attraction to the fire service. And partners with Smokey there. They were the big hit of the day. The kids really liked it.
And giving out balloons.
Right.
Yeah. And here we had the Jaws of Life demonstration.
Correct. We wanted a little entertainment for some of the folks that came down, and we thought this would be a good way to show them how we use our equipment on extricating people from vehicles that are trapped and injured.
And they're opening the door here with, pounds of pressure. I don't know if that would mean anything to anyone, but
approximately 12,000 pounds at the tip. And at this operation, at the same time, if we have an injured person inside, the paramedics or our firefighter would be inside assisting in medical treatment to that patient also, while the other firefighters continue on removing the doors or the top of the car.
So they knocked out the windshield. They took all of the metal that might be something either to injury to the firefighters or to the victim, and then started pulling open the door. And then the next thing they did was amazing to me. There, they got the door off. And what?
These are known as the hearse cutters here, and that helps us remove the top. The reason for removing the top is we don't want to injure the person inside any further, and it's easier to gain access to them and remove them.
And this, again, was a big hit of the throng, really, of over 2,000 people that attended the open house that day at Fire Station 1. Here on 3rd Street in downtown Laverne. Look how concerned people are about that. I guess they're anticipating, what if someone were really in there, and that these efforts on the part of the firefighters could be saving someone's life.
Correct, because most of the times on the street when we're doing this operation, we try to clear out the crowd because we have a fire that could, the vehicle could come intact with fire. That's why we have this hose line here. You'll notice this fireman here with the hose line.
Yeah, and there's the top off.
There's the top off.
And everyone seemed to have a big hand of applause. And we heard some closing comments.
Clothes catch on fire. What do you do? Stop, drop, and then roll. Right, you guys did very good.
Well, Leo, that was a great day, a great turnout. There were some displays that we didn't see, a stovetop fire display. What was the purpose of that?
Well, the purpose of that was a percentage of our fires start in the kitchen, home in the kitchen, and we wanted to let the people know that they're easy to extinguish, and we give them one attempt to do that before they do phone us. And that's what we were trying to simulate there that day, is an actual stovetop fire.
And sometimes people try to throw the pan out, and they wind up spreading the fire to another area of the kitchen. And the fire extinguisher demonstration?
Right. We know a lot of people have them in their cars and at home, and some people have never even actually used one. We were actually showing them how to pull the pin and squeeze and squirt. That's our little saying on how to use a fire extinguisher, and trying to make it real basic and simple so anybody could use a fire extinguisher if they ever needed to.
And the car fire demonstration?
Yeah, that was for just, then again, like the public, just for a little entertainment, because we brought them in there, and a lot of it was public education, but we thought we'd give them a little entertainment while they were there, and the people got to feel the heat off that fire, and they realized how much heat actually comes off a vehicle fire.
Now, as a matter of fact, there was a vehicle fire at the corner of Bonita and D here in the late part of the summer, where a car actually was on fire.
Correct.
And a fatality, unfortunately, but those things do happen out there on the streets in real life. Fire safety is not a one day like the open house or a special week like National Fire Prevention Week or month. It's a 12-month effort, isn't it?
That's correct, Bill. Yeah.
And we have some dates coming up that we should be concerned about.
Right.
Especially.
Right. That would be like Christmas. We want to let the public be aware that the Christmas trees do dry out, and electricity that we use to light those Christmas trees may cause them problems in the home, and we want to make sure that they're aware of that and they don't leave their Christmas tree up too long.
Trees dry out, are almost tinder for set for a fire. And then the electrical circuits that are overloaded, or that's a fire hazard as
that's
well?
also a problem throughout the house, is overloading their circuits too. Yes, that's correct.
Leo, what a great effort putting on this day. It was your responsibility to organize it, to publicize it, to be sure that everything went well. A producer, a fellow producer of mine here, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You were handing out brochures and talking to people. Parents were listening while the kids were being involved in a fire in the bedroom and other demonstrations. I would ask you, how does the fire department try to get the message out around the year to the public?
Well, we at several occasions we offer up demonstrations to the schools and to the parents and the PTA meetings or the Boy Scouts, and that helps us get that point across also, because we know that one year that comes around, you know, we try to get just that point across, maybe to that one child that, you know, it may save his life, and we've accomplished our goals. You know, we've taught him something, and I guarantee you every child that went through the Edith drill learned something that day.
Yeah, I heard the students, they were students for that particular time, readily calling back the information about if you're on fire, what do you do?
Right, it's stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll.
And the emergency number also, as we were trying to really drill into their heads, because, you know, they may be calling it for their father, their mother, or, you know, whoever, their injured brother or sister, and they can always help save lives also by memorizing that number.
Leo, thanks for coming to be on our Town program. LVTV Channel 29 will do its part to demonstrate around the year that fire prevention is a smart thing to practice.
Thank you, Bill.
Leo Kilman, thank you very much.
Very good. Okay, put your right hand up. Right hand up. I want everybody to repeat. I promise.
I promise
to be fire safe.
to be fire safe.
You earned your badges. I'll get your badges for you.
Thanks for joining us on Our Town. We'll hope to see you again next week.